Hi everyone, my name is Aria Wang. First of all, I want to thank all of the listeners for being here, and thanks all of my peer reviewers. I will admire your valuable comments and suggestions. This presentation pivots about two major areas of auditing: audit planning and audit program development. In order to understand the audit planning, I have selected New Zealand Stock Exchange, NZX. NZX is a registered security exchange commission in New Zealand. It is an owned subsidiary of New Zealand Clearing and Depository Corporation under Part 5 of the Reserve Bank of New Zealand Act 1989. NZX is currently licensed by the New Zealand Financial Market Authority to operate in NZX securities markets, Fonterra shareholders markets, NZX derivatives market. NZX is a for-profit public-held New Zealand company. In addition to its licensed market operator functions, it undertakes various other commercial activities, including clearinghouse, news and data platform, wealth management business. This diagram explains daily shares trade volume of the firm. NZX is committed to compliance with its market operator obligation by ensuring fair licensed markets operation, arrangements to public disclosure from participants, handling conflict among its commercial interests, and enforcement of compliance with market risks. The first quarter 2020 is marked by widespread corona disease. The deadly start of 2020 has affected remarkably the business like NZX. Formal review process of the business orbits around COVID-19 pandemic. New Zealand has formulated nationwide outlet level 4 protocol. Serious concern around COVID-19 results in the NZX lack of surveillance. The NZX has fallen victim to cybercrime. In the last week of August, the access to its website was blocked for 2 consecutive days due to DOS attack. Business unwillingness to invest in cyber enforcement or to adopt proactive measures has resulted in huge loss for their stakeholders. The stakeholder vision of NZX is well articulate and proactive. It covers a large number of the non-stakeholder group too, in the list of stakeholders which include employees, suppliers, communities. In order to protect these rights, interests, and the welfare of this group, the audit will comprehensively analyze the factor which causes anomalies. Inherent risk. The risks due to suspicious accounts in the client's financial statement are considered carrier of inherent risk. Potential conflict for NZX due to its operation, both as principal and as agent in a transaction. NZX will facilitate transactions which appear to have been conducted within the business. These intentions may impact the price, volume, financial benefit of the NZX participant. Control risk. It arises when a client's inherent control system is not capable enough to assess mistreatment. According to A78 IAS NZ 315, understanding of an entity's control is not sufficient to test their operation effectiveness, unless there is some automation that provides for the consistent operation of the controls. For NZX, following control risk might arise based on the analysis of balance sheet. Enforcement of integrity and ethical values, commitment to competence, organizational structure, assignment of authority and responsibility, detection risk. The above-mentioned risks propose a complex situation with chances of error not being identified are high if we neglect planning or poor execution of audit. Serious concern around COVID-19 resulted in the NZX experiencing record trading activity. In the first quarter of 2020, significant market volatility increased in demand for capital, and appropriate regulatory relief due to pandemic imply a comprehensive surveillance of NZX. Due to adjusting and non-adjusting events like challenge and impact of COVID-19, there may be a need for the auditor to design and perform enhanced or additional procedure like inquiry, observation, inspection, and recalculation. Based on the review and planning of the audit, I have observed that NZX surveillance handles significantly increased number of surveillance system outlets. NZX surveillance and regulation team evaluate is necessary. Cyber surveillance framework must be reviewed and RD reinvestment should be investigated. IT procedure. Surveillance system parameter and outlet require on-spot explanation by technical surveillance staff. An overall potential misconduct to the special division is observed. The significance of balance sheet audit. Auditing financial statements like balance sheet of NZX is important as it provides an outside look at accounting operations of the business. Overall health of the public held company can be ascertained through balance sheet. Investors of business rely on this audited statement and ratio analysis. The audited balance sheet also knows that no fraud or occupation has been detected in the company. And here is the statement of the financial position. Audit procedure determine the quality of the audit, resulting in expression of the audit opinion. Some major audit procedure including classification testing and cutoff testing. Completeness. This procedure is the audit implication of all transactions which were recorded by NZX in the financial period of 2020. Specifically, this procedure will investigate investment in the IT and RD. All accounts including asset, liability, equity, and other disclosure made by CFO will audited to ascertain their completeness. Completeness testing. Evaluate missing accounts record. For example, the audit might require bank statement summarize which can be used to verify payments to supplier, or if cash received from the customer with their records. Occurrence. Occurrence assertion is the audit is verification of economic activity of the business. The auditor has to make sure that transaction events and other matters mentioned in the annual sales document actually took place. The relation of the business with this event is ascertained by occurrence testing. Occurrence testing. It is achieved by selecting an example of entries from the annual reports. Then these transactions are traced with supporting documents like sale invoice, good dispatching notes, and customer orders. For occurrence testing of fixed asset at business disposal, I will collect supporting documents if NZX has sold any fixed asset, made any investment in RD during the first quarter of 2020. The auditor might ask to see the bill of sales or equipment purchase. By using this document, auditor can verify adjustment of current year asset. The goal of NZX audit or any other audit is to formulation of audit options. The audit options sets the scope of the audit. It informs about the procedure followed and examination of statements. Material mistreatment in financial records is assessed and a reasonable assurance is provided. Financial position as at 30th June 2020 and its financial performance were analyzed. NZX showed full compliance with NZIAS 34 interim financial reporting. As the auditor of NZX Limited, NZX SRE 2410 requires that we comply with the ethical requirements relevant to the audit of the annual financial statement. Due to widespread of the global pandemic, the procedure performed in a review are not in line with international standard on auditing. Currently, no audit opinion on this interim consolidated financial statement can be made. And this is a reference of the PowerPoint.